Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with the one and only Anna Kelly. How you doing, Anna?
I'm doing great. So good to be here with you.
Thank you. Hey, one of the things that I wanted to ask you about and really have a discussion with you is, all right, so people go back and watch our playlist. They know that both you and I took action to prepare for the bad market, right? We were in a good
Yes.
market. We knew good markets end and bad markets start. We didn't know when, we didn't know why, all that stuff, but we prepared and we prepared early. Well,
Yes.
it's here.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to just, look into the future a little bit. Take some wild guesses if you want, but if we say the bad market's at least 2 years, what might Anna and her family do to take advantage of the next couple of years? Because I'm going to guess you're not going to sit still. You've prepared for something. What might you do in the next couple of years?
You know what, Michael? To be honest with you, I'm going to continue to do the same things day in and day out that I've always done, right? I'm going to look at deals. I'm going to know my financial goals. I'm going to know what an average deal looks like in any asset class that I invest in. And I'm going to do great deals, not average deals, not good deals. I'm going to do great deals. I'm going to do great deals that are recession resilient. If there's a little bit of a pivot, I can say that for the most part, I only invest in really great markets anyway, Class A and Class B markets with great schools, low crime, above average income, really great jobs, and more demand than there is supply. That's part of my buy box. That's part of my criteria always, but especially moving into a recession, I want to capitalize on great deals that happen in those key markets that are going to continue to build my cash flow. They're going to continue to go up in value once this blip for a couple of years might hit values a little bit. They'll come right back up. We've seen that through year after year of historical information that you've provided, right, on housing values. And they're going to preserve my wealth. And so I'm looking at deals that give me appreciation, cash flow, preservation, and don't forget the tax benefits, right? But I'm doing it in the same markets that I've been investing in. And I look at the same deals day in, day out. And then I look at my financial goals and go, okay, what's the risk for the return that this deal is going to offer me, right? Is it worth the opportunity cost of going into this and not having as much money to go into future opportunities? Can it weather a couple years of pain? And if it's a great deal and it meets my buy box, I'm making offers.
Absolutely. That's I had no idea what I was going to hear, but that's like the perfect answer. Yeah.
Thanks.
The other thing that I thought was interesting is the last couple of years, I always talked about doing good or great deals. I like, and I've done the same thing, right? I threw good out the window. The next 2 years,
Yes.
good deals don't get done. I want
Right.
margin of safety. I have a stack of capital, but it's not endless. So I'm not going to deploy any of that on a good deal. I'm going to only do great deals. The other
Yes.
thing that I'm going to do, I'd be interested is, and I did this from 2009 to like 2011, maybe early 12, is like I did a great deal, but then my next one always had to beat the preceding one, right? Because I just never,
Mm,
it's kind of like dollar cost averaging. I just never knew where
yes.
the bottom was, right? You can't
Right.
wait for the bottom because nobody ever tapped you on the shoulder and said bottom, bottom,
Right.
bottom, bottom, bottom. So
Right.
what do you think of that? Kind of make the next deal better than the one that preceded it.
I really like that. I'd love to see kind of how you do that numerically, right? I
Mhm.
guess you could say, okay, if this deal's a cash on cash of 6 and an ROI
Exactly.
of 11, the next one's got to be a 7 and an ROI of 12. So
Yep.
that's a good exercise. I've never done that, so I'm gonna mark that as a mental note and a
Nice.
challenge for myself as well, right? The other thing is every market gives us a different good,
Yeah.
right?
No. Exact. No.
So
Very. Yes. Mhm.
from the bottom, the returns that I could create were really, really great returns looking back, right? Over the last 2 years, there's part of me, I'm going to be honest, that's like, man, this stinks. It's only an 8% cash on cash, it's 12% cash on cash. It's only a 15 or 20% IRR. Like when properties are cheap at the bottom, those
Mhm.
numbers don't look so good, right?
No.
But in the this last year and a half, those are good numbers. And
Yeah.
so now I want to look at what's good today and
Exactly.
I want to beat that. So always do deals that make sense financially. They're better than the average, right? They're
Mhm.
better than barely good. They're excellent deals that you're so confident in that you say, you know what? This is such an amazing opportunity for the risk reward and how it meets my financial goals that I don't care what happens in the next 2 years. I'm going to weather it. And over time, it's going to be an amazing deal. And then just keep doing great deals. If one comes and you like it and you love it, it
Do it.
meets all the checks the boxes, do the deal. get an analysis paralysis. Is it going to be a good deal if the values fall further? Well, I wish I have waited. Do amazing deals. That's like that bird in the hands, worth more than two in the bush.
Yeah. The other thing I'm telling, because again, I just love telling everybody what I'm doing. And again, love your feedback on this. First and foremost, I've changed what I'm looking at, right? My search criteria for the last 2 years was first day listings. It's because you had to be fast.
Yes.
I've thrown that away. I don't even look anymore. It used to be 15 days. Now it's 30. I don't look at any listings that's not 30 days or older.
Yes.
Second, I'm not writing list price. I don't care if it just had a price drop. Again, if I'm writing an offer, I'm going to try to get everything I can. So no list price offers.
Yes.
I'm asking for closing costs, which I haven't done in years. And I'm asking for rate buy downs. I'm going to ask for everything. And then we can negotiate, because I'm hunting for the 1, the 2, or the 3 motivated sellers. And motivated sellers have to sell. And I might as well get the best deal. And again, for me, I call it yield. You can call it cash on cash or return on capital. If I can get closing costs paid, that increases my yield, because that's real money. If I can get a rate buy down, that takes my mortgage rate low. That's real money. I'm doing everything I can to improve the yield. So folks, for 2 years, it was tough. The next 2 years, you have the power. So use it.
Absolutely. We have shifted from a true seller's market to an equilibrium in some markets and to a buyer's markets in others. And so you need to ask for everything, right? Because if you don't ask, you're never going to get it, right?
Yeah.
The last year and a half, I've gone above asking on every deal that I've done. I'm going to be honest with you, right? Because especially in these larger deals that I was doing, larger multifamily, nicer vacation rentals, money talks. And so I went over. Now I'm not going to offer a full price. I'm going to do exactly like you. Ask for a lot, ask for concessions. Find out what the seller's motivation is, though.
Exactly.
So motivation is extremely important when we are moving into an economy where everybody's suddenly starting to feel the fear. I don't think we're at the bottom of fearful.
No.
Right?
Oh, no.
They're starting to feel the fear.
Yeah.
So as fear increases in the marketplace in sellers, their motivation level goes up. And you can't find what's going to make them tick till you figure out their motivation. So try to find out, why are they selling? How quickly do they need to sell? What's more important to them, price or speed, right? And then you start crafting offers to what they're motivated, but you ask for everything because they're only going to give you some of it, right?
Oh, exactly. We're going to find out which one they're okay with. So
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is a lot of fun. And then the other thing I'm doing is I'm directly marketing, right? I actually had a postcard created for the first time. I am marketing to owners of duplexes through quads, because I want to stay residential, 30-year fixed. Anybody that has 60% equity is getting a card from me, basically pushing the idea of seller financing. I'm going to go get as much seller financing as I can as well. What do you think?
Absolutely. I just taught a class at a conference on seller financing in every investment market cycle, because seller financing can work for different reasons, for different motivation for every seller. If you can lock in their low interest rate, you can give them cash flow. You could potentially save them a lot on their capital gains, which a lot of sellers are concerned right now as prices are higher. You can meet their price. You can meet the speed of execution. It really can be a win-win that separates you out from the typical wholesalers or flippers that are going to go after the same people. So creative financing is something that served me well. It really changed the trajectory of my ability to grow wealth when I ran out of capital. It's something that I'm definitely employing. I employ all the time, but I'm more excited to employ it now.
Yeah. Again, you gotta know the right tools for the right market. The last 2 years, whether you like it or not, cash won, price won, over asking won. We're not there today.
Right.
Creative financing is going to be amazing. So again, I think it's fair to say that you and I are excited by what's coming. We understand it's going to hurt a lot of people.
Yes.
We obviously are very nice and we feel for that. But when we think about our business, we prepared and we're excited and we're only doing great deals. I love that.
Absolutely. I'm in 100% agreement. And just to reiterate, you'll hear this from us over and over. Those of you that have listened for a long time, you know that Michael and I are caring, compassionate people. We don't want to take advantage of any people, but we want to take advantage of the opportunities. We want to take advantage of being able to use our experience to really create win-win deals that are good for the seller, that are good for us, help us move forward, and help them from going into a devastating foreclosure or situation that could otherwise happen if they sold to kind of a wholesaler shark.
Yeah. This is the time to be a good person, but also take action. Do not sit on the couch and do nothing.
Yes.
Skill up, network, figure out average. You have to figure out average so you know great. Otherwise, you're guessing. You probably have a year and a half to 2 years. It could be 4, but let's talk about 18 to 24 months.
Yeah.
Do the work.
Yeah. The other
Great.
thing I throw in there is just, as deals get easier, as the economy starts to soften, banks dry up. And we've talked about this numerous times as well, but banks are already drastically slashing the loan to value that they will give you. 80% loans, at a low rate is not always going to happen if you have average credit. You
Mhm.
might have excellent credit and still have to get a 65%
Yeah.
LTV mortgage. So you've got to have amazing relationships with your banks. You've got to talk to them about, what are you concerned about? What are you nervous about? What kind of deals, what kind of exceptions can you make for me like they did before? What kind can you not? And you want to leverage other people's money, private investors, partners. You want to find ways to maximize leveraging other people's money so that you can then take that money and capitalize on deals, however it is that you get those done.
Very well said. And Anna, where can people find you?
Great. You can find me here every week. You can find me on social media at Anna Kelly, REI Mom, and my website is reimom.com.
Awesome. Thank you very much.